In the early 1800s, deep in the savannas of West Africa, a quiet scholar took up his pen and then his sword. He preached faith, justice, and reform. But his message would ignite one of Africa's greatest revolutions. This is the story of Usman dan Fodio, the man whose dream of righteousness became the mighty Sokoto Caliphate. Born in 1754 in Gobia, in present-day northern Nigeria, Usman dan Fodio was more than a teacher. He was a visionary who saw faith as the foundation of justice. He spoke against corruption among rulers, called for education for men and women, and taught a purer form of Islam that emphasized truth and equality. But his words threatened powerful leaders. The rulers of Gobia saw his growing influence and feared him. When persecution followed, the preacher's followers, the Fulani and Hausa faithful, chose a new path, a path of jihad, a holy struggle for justice and reform. In 1804, the desert wind carried a declaration. Usman dan Fodio proclaimed jihad against tyranny and oppression. Farmers, scholars, and warriors rallied to his call. It was not a war of conquest, but a war to cleanse society of injustice. Under his banner, villages and cities fell one by one. Gobia, Kebbi, Kano, Katsina, the old Hausa states crumbled, and in their place rose a new order, a vast empire governed by Islamic law, scholarship, and fairness. By 1810, the Sokoto Caliphate stretched across what is now Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and beyond, one of the largest empires in Africa's history. Usman dan Fodio led not as a king, but as a guide, emphasizing learning, morality, and justice. He built schools, mosques, and courts. His daughter, Nana Asmayu, became a renowned poet and teacher, a symbol of women's education in a time when few valued it. The Sokoto Caliphate became a beacon of Islamic scholarship, a civilization built not on gold or war, but on knowledge and faith. In 1817, Usman dan Fodio passed away, but his legacy lived on through his son Muhammad Bello and the leaders who followed. For nearly a century, the Caliphate thrived, until British colonization arrived at the dawn of the 20th century. But even under colonial rule, the influence of the Sokoto Caliphate endured, its laws, traditions, and spiritual leadership still shaping northern Nigeria today. What began as the vision of one preacher became a movement that changed a continent. Usman dan Fodio's jihad was more than a war. It was a revolution of the soul, a reminder that true power lies not in the sword, but in faith, knowledge, and justice. Subscribe to Ancient Africa Tales for more captivating stories of Africa's forgotten empires, leaders, and revolutions.